It is Friday, September 25th, 2015. I am Doug Neill, and this is Verbal to Visual Video. You may have noticed that lately I have been sticking to just two colors when creating these videos, and I would like to dig into that specific approach because I think that it is a useful and simple way to both add some contrast to the page when sketchnoting and also create a little bit of a framework around the balance of the visual and the verbal elements that you get onto the page. So let's talk about the two-color approach to sketchnoting. The simplest way to use this two-color approach to visual note-taking is to get all verbal ideas down on the page in one color, and then all visual ideas down in another color. In this case, you can see I'm using orange to write words, and I'm using black to sketch out images. What that creates for you then is this useful creative constraint. It's putting limits on the way that you get ideas down on the page so that you're not overwhelmed with 20 different color options or 5 different pens. It's a simple but effective process that allows you to focus not on what color or pen you're going to use next, but instead focus on the ideas that you're capturing. Understand too that this two-color approach can be a jumping off point to a more complex note-taking process that involves more than two colors and maybe even more than just one style of pen like I'm using here. But I think in the beginning, particularly if you are new to sketchnoting, it's best to err on the side of simplicity regarding your process than something more complex. One benefit of writing words in one color and sketching out images in another is that it makes it much easier to keep track of the balance between verbal and visual on the page while you're sketchnoting. If you're in the midst of a sketchnoting session and you realize for the last 5 minutes you've only been working in one color, then you might want to take a look and see if it might be worthwhile to build in that other color, depending on the particular balance of verbal and visual that you're shooting for with your style. So I don't want to implicate that those two have to be an exact balance, but it will help you to see whatever that balance looks like for you. Using two colors will help you to see whether or not you are achieving that balance that you're shooting for. And finally, with this two-color approach, at the end of the note-taking session, you have some good contrast to the final set of notes that make it onto the page. It breaks up the page in a useful way for the eye. So give this two-color approach to visual note-taking a try. You could even develop your own set of keyed colors depending on the topics that you're sketchnoting. I've done a little bit of that in some of these videos. You might have noticed that the entire series of notes taken from Todd Henry's book, The Accidental Creative, all were in orange to kind of match the color of the book. And I've also done a couple of recent videos about digitizing your sketch notes. Those were both in green. It probably won't always be that intentional, but if you would like to do that, that's an option for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.